you want to do the intro?
I was just about to say, are we going to do the obligatory who's doing the intro bit that we always put in before the intro anyway, just so people know how fucking much of a clusterfuck we are?
Yeah.
We doing that?
Well,
yeah.
Let's face it, it always comes down to between you and I anyway. I can't remember who did the last one.
Yeah, that's true. I can't remember. Anyway, hello, welcome to the Pacifist Podcast. Welcome back, I should say, because we've had a week off by all accounts.
But they haven't.
Yeah. What?
They haven't, because I made sure there's been one every week. We've had a week off.
How has that happened?
Skills, you're welcome.
Okay.
Ruined the magic you have. You've ruined it.
I'm very confused by it. Anyway, welcome to the Pacifist Podcast. Today we're taking a break from the paranormal because there's quite a lot to explore, and we're definitely going to come back to it because we've been getting some gold out of it. Tonight we're just going to be doing loves and hates, pet hates, guilty pleasures, all those little things that we're trying to air away from sort of like, oh, my favourite colour is blue and stuff like that. I don't give a shit about what your favourite colour is. I want to know the dirty stuff. I want to know the silly little secrets, your little fetishes, and the things that really grind your gears and all that sort of stuff.
And what I'm worried about on this is that it's just me here. The other guys aren't here right now.
Yeah.
So you want to know what my fetishes are?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, great. Let me just go get Gimp Ball and I'll suit up.
That was more of a sort of call to arms for the viewers because I love the comments that we get from some of these things. So it was more sort of aimed at them. I don't really want to know your fetishes. They disturb me. And they'll easily just make their way onto my hate list. I know. So yeah, as Sam said, obviously the other two aren't here today. Zach's very, very hard at work, and Jesus is just a lazy fuck and wants to play the PlayStation. Shame on you, Jesus.
That was exactly the words I was going to use to describe him. BMW driving fucker.
one for you there, Tracy. So it's just me. Me, a very bald Mushu. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have shaved, and a very delicious-looking Sam, as per always.
Hey, do you know what's funny? So obviously the facial hair is pretty pathetic on me. I'm giving it a solid effort. And then I watched Karate Kid 1. Turns out I'm supporting Mr. Miyagi's look here, just not in grey yet.
Well, there you go.
And I was like, hang on a minute. Dano-san. Hand. Knuckle.
There's a lot of worse people to be sort of measured against and look like. I mean, Hitler for one. I mean, Hitler tashes are probably not a good thing to be sporting these days. Nobody's going to buy the Charlie Chaplin shit. They're going to be like, no.
I think I know why he had, and Charlie Chaplin had that moustache though, because I shave using a cutthroat razor. Fun fact about me: you wanted to know you wanted to get to know me. I use a cutthroat razor. There's reasons why. And when I first started using one, shaving under this bit, it's difficult.
I bet that's quite dicey because you're going in at quite a nasty angle, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's reasons why barbers are trained. I am not. I just wanted to challenge it. I was like, shaving, it's too easy. I've had that down for like 15 years. Piece of piss. So let's make it harder on yourself and possibly kill yourself at it.
So what you're saying is, at that time, the only people that used cutthroat razors were Charlie Chaplin and Hitler?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that they were both cheap and they wouldn't pay other people to shave themselves. And they're like, this bit, easy. This bit, just leave it there. Just leave it. You know, no one else is supporting it, says Charlie Chaplin.
Hitler was a bit cheap. He ravaged his way halfway across Europe.
Yeah, it wasn't his money, was it?
Well,
did you ever see him in like a nice outfit or driving a car that wasn't like military related?
Yeah. There's loads of photos of him in nice cars with nice seats. He's Hitler. He runs the country. He's not going to go into boots, is he? He'd be like, not boots. Where'd you get your hair cut? It's been a long time. Into the barbers, sorry.
No,
I'm thinking about buying razors. No, you go into a barber's and be like, I'd kind of like a shave, please. And they'd be like, that'll be £4. And he'll be like, oh, I'm a bit shy at the minute. No, fuck off, Hitler. No free haircuts here.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it, are they? They're going to.
I've only got £3.50. Well, you can have it all off, but we're leaving that bit.
Or that, yeah. Yeah, you're going to be left with an inch of hair somewhere. Where do you want it? I don't know. Just under the nose, maybe.
Yeah.
By
probably.
the way, if anyone from Germany is viewing this, I'm sorry. I can only do gay German accents. Normal German accents.
German accent.
Well, yeah, I can't do. What do you mean you had no idea? I like to
it just sounds so masculine. I always assumed that's why they were the silent, strong types. You don't hear a lot of German accented monologues in films, do you?
No, that's true. That is true. You don't, unless you're in Germany, maybe.
Good point. I mean, most of the German films I've seen, they don't have a lot of speaking in it. Got a lot of grunting and groaning, but you know.
Well, yeah, because it's hard to put a gay German accent in an action movie, for instance. You know, and they're always bad guys, aren't they? The Germans, like, bless them. Ever since the war, they've got a kind of a bad rap. It's like English people in films, though, isn't it? English people are always bad guys as well.
We make the best bad guys. Honestly, all the bad guys. Even I watched a movie the other day. It's not The Last Samurai, but it's like The Last Ninja or something. It was on Netflix. It was about some immortal guy. The Last Mortal.
Oh right, yeah. No.
And the bad guy in that is Dudley Dursley off of fucking Harry Potter. I mean, I see him and I just want to punch him. He's a brilliant bad guy. Loved it.
Yeah. Dudley Dursley.
He's Harry Potter's sort of half, not brother, like his cousin.
It's the young one.
Yeah, the fat one.
34,
34, but last year I got 33 presents. That
Oh, yeah, what a good bad guy here, mate. You just want to smack him straight away, don't you?
Oh, give him a big old slap. Anyway, so leading on to my like box, Harry Potter goes in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a given that you like Harry Potter. I'm going to avoid the things that are givens, such as, you know, I like guns. Oh, yeah, that's an obvious. I don't like baked potatoes. That's another obvious.
Well, that's true. I do like baked potatoes, though. Can I have a maybe box? I mean, I don't like them enough that if it was to take up the room of something else.
No, I think with the have a maybe box, and then and then the viewer can decide between whether it's a good thing or a bad thing.
I could live without a baked potato, in all fairness. I'm not just like, oh, do you know what? Need me one of them dirt berries.
Right. Yeah. I say I'm going to avoid the subject. Right. I just have to just get one thing off my chest. Right. There is on the Isle of Wight. I'm not going to name them because they're an independent business and they're you know, struggling just like everyone else is. So I'm not going to name them, mate. But they do above average sort of street side food, lay-by food, that sort of stuff. It's a lay-by style van, which it strives to do good quality meals, if you know.
Okay, wait, hang on. So I think you're talking about a burger van, but they want to be called a food truck. No?
I think it is actually. It would be more of a food truck, I would say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just badly explained by me. But all of their food looks great. But every now and then, they'll be like, today's special, this beautiful, crispy baked potato filled with your choice of fillings. And I'm like, oh my God, you're trying to make out that you're doing better than average food, and you're serving up a root vegetable that's just been heated up for a little while and then just something else thrown on top. It's like fucking sandwiches in a way, but just overcomplicated. You know, you don't buy the sandwiches for the bread. You don't buy a baked potato for the potato, do you? Do you?
I don't buy baked potatoes ever. I don't think I ever go anywhere and be like, yeah, I'll have the baked potato. I'd rather have chips, please.
There we go. Yeah, something that a bit of effort's gone into. They've actually gone to the effort of cutting them into things. Sometimes they refry them. Posh, yeah. baked potatoes are just fucking pointless. Why you'd ever order one? And who would be like, oh, I've been driving for blooming hours, you know? Oh, let's pull over and get a baked potato. No, it doesn't happen, does it?
Well, I presume that the people who are from Yorkshire. Is that what that accent was? It's like the Yorkshire, they're big on their baked potatoes.
I'm a Yorkshireman, aren't I? It's my go-to accent if I'm doing anything.
Something negative.
Yeah. Apologies to all my family in Yorkshire for just ripping the piss out of your accent, but you get what I mean anyway. It's not your typical sort of like, and certainly if you were after something, you know, I fancy something a bit decent today. I feel like treating myself. I might go down the street food thing in the lay-by and buy a baked potato. No,
happening. I used to a long time ago. I used to work in a Wetherspoons in the kitchens. I did steak night because I wasn't a 16-year-old boy and could fry an egg without it burning. And I used to,
Christ.
Yeah, I know, right? And their microwave potatoes, kind of microwave potatoes, were absolutely disgusting. But I found that if you chopped them into 8 or 10 pieces, depending on the size of the potato, and then covered them in the seasoning that you did for the steaks, and then obviously put them into a fat fryer, they were something special. Yeah, my managers used to ask me to make them that for their lunch. They'd be like, can you make me some of them kind of wedges? But they weren't like wedges, because wedges are fucking disgusting. Wedges, dislike box.
Yeah, I think
fucking hate them.
To be honest, I'd agree with you there. I'm not that strongly opposed to them, because sometimes they could be all right with, you know, if they're done right. But they definitely have a bit of a baked potato-y feel to them. It's like lazy chips, and they've got that old man's grizzly ball bag skin on them, which is just awful.
That's probably the only bit of them I like, Mushu, is the old ball bag
such
skin.
a wrong one.
The problem is, you get ones that are this size that are absolutely delicious, and then you're like, oh, that was lovely. I'm going to go for the big one now, the real big one. You're like, oh, it's raw. Fucking great. I'm eating raw potato. Wonderful. And for the pleasure of it, it cost me about £3 more than a portion of fucking chips does. No, don't like them. They are on my fucking dislike bin box. Fucking bullshit. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy this one. I know it already. Weirdly, you've just alerted me to another like. I quite like that sort of raw potato. I like the texture of it in my mouth, but I'm aware that potato raw is toxic, so I don't do it. I don't eat them. But you get the odd uncooked chip or something. Ooh, it's like treat time.
Is this on a can of cold spam as the side of your dinner? Like, what are we having tonight, Dad, for dinner? Oh, well, you're lucky, because I've got some raw potatoes here and some canned meats. And if you're still hungry, right over there, I'm trying to point at the can. Thank you. We can have some, still can't say it, stinky fish.
Surströmming.
Oh, I was so close. I was going to say Surstringer.
Oh, shit. You know what? That's what's just occurred to me. We mentioned in the last episode, I think it was, about doing the paranormal sleepover, ghosty hunty thing and all of that.
Yeah, we have a sleepover.
But it's going to mean you coming to the island, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it'd be very
at the same time.
Busy weekend for Sam. Ghost hunting an awful, fucking, horrible, stinky fish.
I mean, we're going to have some content from the end of it, though, Mishu. So
yes, we are. Yes,
certainly beats everybody seeing your shamog and my bad blinds.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I could mix it up. I could put a different background on, but I just can't be bothered. To be honest,
I have like those scarves in, I don't know, 4 different colours. I was going to say 6. I'm like, I don't even know if there are 6 different colours, if I'm honest. So, yeah. It's just black, white, blue, red.
Is that all you get?
Well, that's all I fucking see. Oh, well, I've got a green one. I've got 5 colours.
Oh, well, there you go. How lovely. Yeah. Right, so loves and hates and stuff like this. I mean, do we want to address the some of the comments we've got in first?
Damn straight, we've got fucking shitloads. Let me load up some of this. I was going to write them down, but I didn't get round to it. Right, if you take the Facebook page, I'll take the one that I share. Where are we? My post. But what's that?
You don't want to know what that noise was.
So I agree. Well, tell me once you got it loaded up, and
Right, yeah, I've got. Here we are. Right. So, where do we start? Ellie,
Well,
you're on the top of my list. You are apparently most relevant. Apples. People eating them, cutting them, just their general presence in a room makes me want to barf. I'm not going to agree with you on this one. Of all the fruits, I find it the least offensive. I quite like them. To the point where I actually used to go to an apple fair every year with my dad when I was younger.
I mean, before colour television, there wasn't a lot else going on, was there, Mushy?
Mate,
Come on,
you can
let's go to the apple fair.
You can take the piss, but you imagine an enormous barn full of all the apple salesmen with their apples cut up on the table, and you can go apple bobbing, and there was like chase the apple throwing.
That's just throwing.
There was so many games. It was such a good day out. And sometimes they'd have a slide as well, but I never used to go on that because I was too busy with the apples.
An apple just built out of an apple, just chewed out as the world's biggest apple, like James and the Giant Peach. Just a helter-skelter. Only works on really small children, though.
And gnomes.
Gnomes, yeah.
No, but so I can't get on board with that. I do actually quite like apples. Of all the fruits, they're the least offensive.
I like apples. I like eating apples. I don't like those red ones because when I was a kid, in our stockings, my old dear, Santa, he used to put a massive orange. Didn't mind those so much, and then the fucking horrible red apples. You know, the really red ones that it's like the inside is lovely, but the outside tastes, I suppose like a red apple skin, but bitter and horrible. So those red ones.
Can't get behind it. I like the red ones as well.
I don't think you see them that much anymore, though.
The only thing I will say, and this definitely goes into an absolute despise box, if there's something worse than hate, is when you've got an apple, you bite into it, and it's just brown and soft inside, but the outside still sort of, there was no hint of the impending decay on the outside. Yeah. On the outside, it looked fresh and everything, and you're expecting that crunch, but instead you get the.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Then you've got the dilemma of like, do I just drop this putrid shit out of my mouth like an animal, or do I continue eating it and go with society's rules and be polite and that sort of thing?
Can I guess which one you do?
You know which one I do. I normally wait until I'm in a public place as well, like a bank or something like that, and then just like produce this rotten apple out of my mouth.
Well, that's not something you want to do with COVID going on these days, is it? People get super upset.
Well, that and the fact it will just catch in my mask because I'm not a tinfoil hat wearer and I do wear a mask.
Yeah, no, good point. But staying on the apple subject, myself, like eating them, listening to somebody else eat one, fuck right off. I can't stand it. But it's like listening to someone eat nuts and bolts. It's awful. Oh.
Now, is this part of an extended hatred of listening to the sound people eat?
Yes, 100%. That's probably my number one.
Yeah.
The noise. What do they call it? Is it mukbangs, where you just get weird people just eating noisily on YouTube? It's like that ASMR thing where people just eat just noisily. And they're like, they get the foods that shouldn't be noisy, like bread, and somehow they make it noisy. It's just it makes me sick. It's also that noise when people drink and they go. Why are you putting that noise in? No one cares. It's like I can see the liquid going down. Is this for blind people? Do you want people to know that you're drinking? You just go, fucking. Yeah, I mean, that really does wind me up. There have been many times. I remember once, diatribe coming on. I was back in yesteryear. The year was 1999. I was working at a popular fast food chain, and I got asked to do a training squad, which basically means they make you do more work and pay you about 6p more an hour. Showing my age, put me up to a whopping £3.70, and we had a meeting once a week, and in that meeting, we'd all get some lunch. I mean, it's McDonald's. We had the the facilities available. And there was this guy.
Can I just point out you're very bad at the not naming businesses thing? You started off so well with a popular fast food chain, but bearing in mind it's McDonald's.
Anybody who knows me knows I worked there at some point, and anybody who doesn't now does. I don't need to hide that anymore. Incidentally, McDonald's is a pile of dog shit these days. I could go into that, but I'm not going to. Anyway, there's this guy next to me, and for one, he's like a 16 to 18-year-old lad, and he orders a chicken nugget meal. What the fuck? But he sat there and he's eating his nuggets, and he's not even doing the manly thing of putting them in whole. He's biting them, maybe in half. I wasn't paying too much attention because I was so distracted by the noise that was coming out of his fucking mouth. He must have got through like 2, maybe 3 of those nuggets before I literally lost my shit. And, you know, still a fairly nervous young person. I wasn't, you know, just moved to the area. I was quite proud to be offered a better position, although it turns out it's just because I was 17 and not 16. And I literally had to turn around. Everybody's silent apart from the noise of this. It's just chicken nuggets, and no word of a lie. This is how loud it is. And I'm just like, will you shut the fuck up? Lost it. Just fucking lost it. And the manager who's taking the meeting, he's like, yeah, Kev, that's too loud. It's just like, I'm just there. I'm sweating. I'm angry. My knuckles are going white on the table. I'm like, he's got 6 fucking nuggets. He's only halfway through. I'm not going to be able to take this. Yeah, just lost it. Fucking shut up.
It's like when you got kids, isn't it? And you're just trying to ignore them. You're watching telly or something, and they're just making a noise, like banging something constantly. And you're like, no, I can ignore that. And you go through phases of like, that's mildly annoying. Yeah, I'm ignoring it. Pretty annoying. Yeah, I'm ignoring it. And then suddenly, after like 45 minutes of listening to this noise, you're just like, I can't fucking take it anymore. Put that fucking hammer down or I'll kill someone.
I am. Maybe I'm a bad parent. I'm not sure. But my two had a recorder, and I was like, "Where the hell have you got this from?" And they're like, "Oh, we got it from Nanny's attic." I'm like, "Oh, Jesus fucking Christ!" Anyway, they're playing it, and I was like, not one to stifle music and art. I think it's a wonderful thing. I actively encourage it as much as possible. But the recorder, I mean, at what cost is this? The noise is dreadful. It's like, you can play it. Just go play it in your bedroom. I don't want to fucking hear it. It's dreadful. Anyway, they kept bringing it back in because obviously I signed my own death warrant there by mentioning the fact that I didn't like it. So they come in and they're like, and you've got to blow a recorder gently and you get a nice melodic noise out of it. Nah, they blow like they're trying to extinguish a fire. It's ridiculous. And I'm there and I'm like, no. And I just snatched it away from them. I took the top bit off and I gave them the bottom half.
Yeah.
Today, when I cleaned out my car, it was in the side panel and I chucked it in the bin. I don't have a recorder anymore. It's gone.
Recorders are the most I don't think I've ever heard a recorder sounding nice. Even when they're played well, they still sound like a Swedish guy having his balls pulled out through his mouth. It's an awful sound. I mean, just on this subject here, we've got wildly distracted from the viewers' comments. I know that, but just on the subject of musical instruments, when I was. I think it's been mentioned before, I'm an ex-police officer, and during my time, and many other things, but during my time in the police, we used to have to do certain shifts in custody. That was part of the rotation sort of thing, being a custody officer to a sergeant. And I remember doing night shifts with my duty sergeant, Sergeant Ryland. Hello, not that you're watching this, but hi anyway. And he decided one day that to pass the time on a night shift in custody where it's just me and him, he was going to learn the bagpipes. Right. And I'm just going to underline the word learn, not play, learn. Right. And to be fair, he had a practice set which weren't as loud. But fuck me, just sitting there and you can't go anywhere because you're in charge of prisoners. So you have to be there. And he's just like, straight away. And it just used to it would be like someone running a knife down my spine. I'd just be like, oh God, here we. And you got the prisoners kicking off.
The prisoners were like, I did it, just let me out.
Just whatever, desperately trying to hang themselves, but I've got all the rope. Fucking after me, you pricks. Yeah, so
there's... Like give them here.
Yeah, I'm having that. Yeah, there are certain instruments that the learning process just far outweighs the actual playing of them, like the
The
violin,
violin. Oh.
yeah, the accordion, and bagpipes, and definitely the recorder. I mean, these are all instruments that were created by perverts. Basically, they have to have been. Like, first of all, man decides that he can carve a flute from a rock, from a bit of wood or something like that. Yeah, but
From
then
a
no.
rock. I at first, when you changed it, when you're like, nah, not rock, it's got to be something else. I was like, nah, it's definitely rock. And I was like, it's definitely not rock. It's definitely not fucking rock.
I mean, I'm sure they have done. But yeah, so it's relatively easy to create an instrument that makes a noise, is what I'm trying to get at, yeah? And then someone's looked at that flute or recorder or whatever it is and thought, that recorder sounds fucking terrible. I wonder what happens if I attach it to like a horse's stomach and 5 other fucking random bits of wood sticking out of it, which God only knows what they do. Just clatter around annoyingly, I guess, when they're between blows. Yeah, and someone's actually thought, no, I'll put that together, played it and thought, that sounds better. I mean,
yeah.
Fucking hell. I mean, I'm assuming that's why it was invented in Scotland, because they're all just massively drunk all the time and probably thought it sounded good.
I've never listened to bagpipes drunk.
You know what? I don't think I have.
Challenge for when I visit.
Yeah. But that said, there are times when bagpipes do stir a bit of emotion, you know, on parades and stuff when they first start going. They're good for really big outdoor areas where, like, you don't really have to listen to it that much.
I agree, and it's the same with the violin. I think with any instrument, with the exception of the recorder and the flute, but I've aired my personal preferences on the flute before. I think anything played by a pro is absolutely fantastic, but those two, fuck off. I think the violin, for instance, sounds beautiful, but would I let my little girl play one? Would I fuck? Yeah, there's not enough soundproofing in the world for that shit.
Yeah, no, I'm fully behind that.
Yeah. Okay, right. Well, moving away from that.
Should we move on to the next one? Oh, you got one, have you?
One. Liam Matthewsman. I work with him. I've never said his surname before. Liam. Anyway, he's like, not sure how weird it is, but when people bite their cutlery, it makes my skin crawl. And he also wrote another one, so we did knock both out at the exact same time, that said, also, not sure, it's weird, but people who speak with their mouth full of food. Seeing as both are linked, we'll just bang those straight out now. I fully agree. When I see I'm salivating now, just thinking about it, when you see people bite a knife or a fork.
I mean, every now and then you do it, don't you? Like, no one can sit there and say, "Oh, I've never bitten a bit of cutlery," because we've all had that moment where we're enjoying whatever we're eating so much, it's like, but the feel of that metal on your teeth, and you always it shocks you, and you pull it a bit, so you get the little scrape as well. And
well, it's like the old pirate movies when you'd see someone stick a knife in their teeth and then slide down a pole.
Yeah,
or a rope, I suppose, not a pole. I've tried that before. Yeah, I've got a knife right here. No, I can't do it. No, literally can't do it.
No.
It's got a pocket clip. I'll just clip it on my pocket instead and then shimmy down the rope. Go on then, bite onto it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh.
I can feel it moving around in my mouth.
I can feel my fillings moving around in my mouth, mate.
I haven't got any fillings, mate, so I wouldn't know. I've got very good teeth.
Oh, apparently. I did. For the decade, I didn't.
Apart from the gap in the front, which a little traveller kid earlier this year reminded me, I've got the London look.
The London look.
He's like, you got the London look. I'm like, what do you mean by that?
Is that the same look as the diabetes look?
This was the same kid. Yeah, told me I had a diabetic face. Yeah. And then he's like, you got the London look. I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like, gap in your tooth, you cunt.
Wow, that's spot on.
Fair enough.
That's what I hear when I drive down the road every day.
Yeah. God bless him. God bless him in his honest ways.
Yeah, we call him Honest George.
But yeah, and the eating with your mouth full as well. I don't know if that's something that was hammered into me because my parents are quite proper, you know. And I certainly wouldn't have been able to eat with my mouth. I was encouraged to eat with my mouth closed all the time. My granddad that I never met, he was an ex-Royal Horse Guard, right? And apparently, according to my mum, he would ensure that every child in his household chewed their food at least 100 times before swallowing it.
That's a real old diet technique, that is.
Yeah,
I
that's...
I saw some documentary about this years and years ago, and they had old school dieting with normal day fat cunts. And they had some, and they made exercise. Some that could eat whatever they wanted, but they could only eat for 15 minutes. And then they had these other guys. I don't think it was 100 times. I think that was too much. I think it was like 40 or 50 chews per mouthful. They could eat whatever they wanted, but they had to chew 40 or 50 times. And I've tried that, and it just turns into liquid. There's nothing left. You're just chewing liquid around.
Flavourless paste, basically. Yeah. It's pointless.
My mum tried to get me to do that once because, I was a chubby kid, and I presume she was around when these diets were the trend. We call it the chewing diet. And it was... it was short-lived.
Yeah, just talking about diets and that. No, I'm not blowing my own trumpet here, but I'm going to go off on a quick underpant tangent, right? In that I had a very sort of 50-50 revelation earlier this week when I realised the pants that I was wearing, I thought they were just new and trendy because they're new pants, right? And I thought, I'll try these like fit trunk things. Yeah, maybe this is what all the kids are wearing. I'm going to rephrase that because I don't want to think about what pants kids are wearing because that makes me sound really wrong. But yeah, anyway, so I bought these pants here and I was wearing them and I'm like, they're a bit uncomfortable.
Okay, no, I've got to stop you. You keep saying pants. Do you mean pants like tighty whitey Y fronts, which is incidentally what I imagine you wear? Or do you mean pants meaning undergarments, but you're actually wearing boxer shorts like a fucking man?
Underpants, I'm talking, like just any form of underwear.
This is what not little boy panties.
Yeah, no. So, and these were like a cotton blend lycra trunk, shall we say? With a seam,
sexy pants on like that.
A seamed area for the gentleman, shall we say? So I was wearing them, and I was thinking they're a bit uncomfortable, right? And it was only the end of the day when I was getting in the shower. I've looked, and they were small. Right now, I was a double XL, right, and they're small. And I thought, okay, that's why they're uncomfortable. And then I was like, oh my god, I can fit in small underpants, which was great. And then I thought, on the downside, I can fit in small underpants. So I don't know whether to brag about it or not. Waistline's great. Penis size, apparently
mediocre at best. I mean, did you watch Bottom in the yesteryears?
I used to, yeah.
Was it like Rick Mayall's swimming trunks?
With the old pubic moustache.
Oh God, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I just had to go off on that tangent.
Well, that is a horrible image for me there. You need a pair of large, but instead you've decided to wear a pair of Spanx and pull it all in, Mushu.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I look banging. I would have if I was not me, obviously.
Did you look like a Ken doll where it was all smooth? Just a slight bulge.
I'm not going to lie, mate. I had a bit of a moose knuckle going on. It wasn't even. It couldn't even have been described as a camel toe. It was much bigger than that.
I call it a bedgie. It's a ball wedgie. I've got an active job, haven't I? I've been known to get myself a bedgie over the years. Oh Lord! Well, I mean, if anybody's listening from on that ass or anything like that, feel free to send Mushu and myself some pants that fit. It would be well received, and because I've said it, no doubt my Facebook feed will now be filled with your adverts.
Yeah. So I can't remember how we got onto pants. I'm assuming it was the food, wasn't it? But we're both agreeing that that's a definite hate, yeah.
What, little boys' pants?
I don't know how this has gone so wrong.
This is your doing. I'm just going with it, man.
I started this off with a funny anecdote, and now I'm sitting here feeling like a monstrous paedophile.
Oh God! Well, as long as you don't start trying to tell me that it's a sexual preference and not some, just some. Oh.
No, it was purely accidental.
Purely accidental. Well, eating with a mouth open is where we started from this, and I actually have that induces rage in me, as I've said, way too much. It was cutlery in mouth and eat with your mouth open.
Yeah, both of them.
I went to a very, very posh school. People who are muggles tend to say I went to Hogwarts, and people who are not muggles say, oh, you went to a private school. Anywho, I found that the rich people, who seemingly were very institutionalised, had the worst table manners I've ever seen in my life. I remember having lunch once with one of the biology teachers. He was like head of a house. I've never heard anything like it. It was absolutely shocking. Once it was over, I said to my mum, I was like, could you hear that? Was it just me? Could you hear him eating? And she's like, oh yeah, I've never seen anything like it. She's like, you'll find it all the time with these poshos. She didn't use the word posho. I can't even remember what she said, but yeah, she's like, it's rife. I think it's because they go to private schools from a really young age, and they just sit around, the house tables without an adult saying, shut your mouth.
Yeah. I think the one the food thing I kind of ignore the sort of hearing people eat, but the one thing that gets me is the McDonald's milkshake at the end of the milkshakes just when you get those people that are like fucking doing it for like 10 minutes. It sounds like a septic tank being emptied.
Does it? I see. I can let that one go because I like that last little bit of a milkshake, and sometimes that slurpy noise is going to happen. Although not anymore, not with paper straws.
Well, no.
It up, doesn't it? It just becomes a little cat's bumhole. You're not getting nothing out after that.
Oh, it's just a paper mache stick by the time you got to the bottom.
Yeah, it's nasty. Don't like it. Don't like it one little bit. Oh God, honestly, my feelings still hurt with the thought of biting cutlery.
Well, should we hustle on to the next one?
Yeah, but before we do, I'm going to flash pictures up of all of these things when I edit this. This is good. Yeah, this is not going to please people.
No.
Anyway, yeah, go on then. You take the next one. You got Facebook up, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Right. Bex Barker again. Terrified.
Oh yeah, Bex.
Terrified of prawns.
You can't comment. You don't like potatoes, mate.
How is that relatable?
It's a food.
Well, no. The prawns are technically a creature first before they're a food. And this is what... Are we talking live prawns? Dead prawns?
Well, I take from that just prawns, living or dead. I presume that if you were to put a live prawn in front of her, she'd shit her pants and walk away. And if you were to put a dead prawn in front of her, she'd be like, that's disgusting, get rid of it.
I mean, that's a good one, though, isn't it? Terrified, she said, of prawns.
I really would love to be able to just put my hand through here and just put a potato in your face just to see how you react.
Well, I'm not terrified of them. I'm not going to run away from it, am I? I just don't. I just wouldn't eat it.
Unless it's raw, peeled and raw.
This is like the whole pineapple thing. I'm allergic to pineapple, right? It makes my throat.
No, you're not. You're lying. You're definitely lying.
Why?
Because you are. It's like when people say, oh, I can't eat that, I'm allergic to mushrooms. No, you just don't like them. No,
I do like pineapple. I like the taste of it, but I can't drink it because it makes my throat close up. Or I can't eat it because it makes my throat close up. But
okay, comment down below. Who wants to see Mushu eat some pineapple?
I mean, that's an awful challenge. The Watch Mushu Die challenge. Yeah.
Have you got an EpiPen?
No, I just don't eat pineapple.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, one of the guys I used to work with, when he found this out, he was like, "Ma, I'm going to come around your house tonight and leave a pineapple on your doorstep." I'm like, that's not how allergies work. It's not a phobia.
Doesn't it just fair?
Like I'll open the door and be like, like a cat like a cat with a cucumber. That's not how it works. It's just like I'd walk out and be like, oh look, a fucking pineapple. I'll give that to the neighbour maybe, or feed it to the kids or something, you know?
Use it for I think their pros don't close up. Oh dear. So she's definitely afraid of prawns.
Yeah. So no, she's terrified of prawns.
Oh, okay.
It's quite a long one. This, so I'm just sort of breaking it down. So I can't get behind that. I love prawns in all their forms. I like whole prawns because the sadist in me loves pulling them apart. It makes me feel like a monster.
I used to I used to go to this place called in Woolacombe. It was like a fishmonger's in the back of somebody's house, super dodgy. But they used to sell prawns by the pint glass.
Yes,
oh, it was the shit,
yes,
man.
That's how you used to get them, a pint of prawns.
Oh, it's the best. Anyway, carry on. Sorry, I always interrupt.
And langoustine as well.
Oh, with the little pincers.
Oh yeah, because then you can like mess around with their claws and be like, it's attacking me.
Yeah, there's always a little bit you can pull, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's always like a little tendon. You can be like,
Yeah, absolute monster, me. Yeah, lobsters as well on the same thing. Interesting. I'd be interested to see, Bex, like whether your phobia carries over to lobsters and things like that as well, because they are at the end of the day just like whopping great big prawns.
We'll find out. She watches. She'll comment down below. She usually does like a running narrative when she's watching because I see the comments pop in. Just tell us. I'm like, oh, it's about 15 minutes in.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, there we go. I can't get behind the prawn thing. I like them.
They go in my like box. I like them too much.
Pet hates now, and these are a couple of good ones, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Grim videos of people feeding animals a bit of something and then eating a bit and then them again. So I'm assuming she's going between.
That.
Oh, do you want a bit? Yeah, yeah.
I'm with that. That's one of mine. Veering off ever so slightly, but in the same way. Dog mammers, because it's always mammers. It's never mummers, isn't it? It's MAMMA.
Yeah.
People who fucking let their dogs lick their mouths. I'm like, fuck's sake, man. That is literally, I've seen dogs eat shit like it's a vanilla ice cream. They just gobble it down and you want that tongue in your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
It's like when a dog licks your face or something, and you know you're around someone's house or something, and they've got a dog, and it jumps up, and you're like, yeah, I quite like dogs, so I'm going to give it a play and all this. And it's all going well, you know, you're rubbing its head and it's really liking it, and then suddenly it'll just whip its head round and just stick its tongue in your face, and it always gets under your top lip, just in that.
Doesn't get under mine, mate.
And you're like, and they're just like, oh, he's so friendly, and you're like, he just literally licked the inside of my mouth.
I'm not having what once was a wolf fucking tasting me. It's not happening. It's not fucking happening. Every time I play with a dog, and again, I like dogs. I think they're pretty cool animals. I don't want one because they're really needy and kids are bad enough. But yeah, I don't want one. I like cats. And when I stroke one, I'm like, don't lick my face. And I give it a stroke. The second and they're like, oh, he's all right. He's all right. He's always licking my face. I'm like, I don't fucking want his dirty, janky tongue in my mouth. Thank you very much. It's like COVID's around. It's just not happening.
Well, yeah, too right.
Yeah. Oh, dirty. But sorry, carry on. Yeah. So when they feed their pets and stuff. Nah.
It's exactly the same concept. Unless you're willing to lick the inside of your dog's cheek, you shouldn't be doing that.
No.
And if you are licking the inside of your dog's cheek, you shouldn't be doing that either. What's wrong with you? You're supposed to be a responsible animal owner.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I'm behind that. What I'd be interested to hear Tracy's take on this. Don't take offence, Tracy, but I know you're a big dog person, and you strike me as the sort of person that would probably wouldn't mind a dog licking your face.
I've started reading one of her books.
Please don't take offence to that.
I swear to God, if it turns out that she French kisses her dogs, I will stop reading it right now. I'm quite enjoying it, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, very good reviews.
Yeah, well, I'm not far enough in to give an informed opinion yet. I'm sort of reading stroke listening to The Stand, which is...
You see, I normally work out within a couple of pages whether I can read a book or not, because some writing styles I hate with a passion. And
yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, this is the reason I can't read the Harry Potter books.
Why? They're written beautifully.
I don't like her writing style. I'm not saying they're badly written. I'm just saying I don't like the way she writes. It aggravated me within a couple of pages, and I had to stop.
That's me putting you in my dislike box.
Putting me in the dislike box.
Yeah, you
motherfucker! Right, you fucking go yours at all.
You're a cop. Anyway, I was going to say, have you read any Dean Koontz?
Yes, yeah. I quite like Dean Koontz.
Did you read his series Odd Thomas? They've made a film about it, but then that really amazing actor died. The guy who played Zulu in the remake of... No? Well, I'm not going to look it up. I'll flash a picture of him up and put an RAP on it, because he was a legend.
Yeah.
I feel like he was a bit Russian, but that could have just been the character.
Oh... No, sorry.
In the Star Trek films, he plays...
Yeah, he is Russian. He is Russian. I know who you mean now. He got pinned in his car, didn't he?
Oh, no, it's very sad. Yeah. He was a cracking actor and he was really, really young. Anywho, Dean Koontz books, he wrote those. They are written in first person. That was not an easy read. I mean, by the end of it, fine, but...
I would say Dean Koontz is quite a complicated author anyway. His writing style is quite... you do have to pay attention. I think it's not one of those sort of easy read books. I don't think.
I think his books are great, but the guy doesn't know how to end one for love nor money. They're all just like H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds.
So it's a common thing, though, isn't it, with a lot of horror writers?
Yeah, it's this massive major build-up, and then oh no, they caught a flu and died. I mean, you shitting me? I got really invested in this, and then the microbes took him out. Behave, go on, off with you. I am.
Yeah. There we go.
Sorry to take apart the works of fiction.
I was going to say, Tracy's probably sitting there right now thinking like, oh shit, the ending of my book. Right.
I fucking hope it's good, Tracy, because I can be nothing but honest. Oh God.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. So people feeding animals back and forth. Yeah, none of that. Guilty pleasure. Now, this is going to be one that I reckon a lot of people can get behind, but definitely not me. Is spot popping, abscess draining, and eyebrow plucking videos.
I love that. I hate eyebrow plucking. I couldn't care less. No. I am in a group chat on Facebook called Show Us Your Spots. Yeah, the best ones are botfly larva. They're so bad. Yeah, I love good abscess, mate. Yeah, I love them.
That's my biggest phobia. My biggest phobia ever has got to be parasites. Like that. I cannot. The botfly larva thing. Bleh, fuck no, thanks no.
Yeah, quite spectacular. I like it when they find like a poor person from some village who's clearly never popped their spots on their face, and they go through and it's blackhead removal. And yeah, they just pop them, and it's like their nose is half the size by the end of it, and the stuff that comes off is just is something crazy. A recent discovery for me, Bex, you may be interested in this, is earwax removal. Wow!
Again, why would you want to watch it?
Why wouldn't you? Oh my God, it's so good. I saw this one and he's like came in and he's super deaf and he had about 10 cotton buds worth of cotton shoved down his ear canal. And this guy who does it he's really animated. I can't remember what he's called. I follow his YouTube channel. Kudos to whoever you are. And he's got like a camera and he explains what he's doing and like what all the tools are. So it's really interesting as well. But the stuff that comes out of them.
No,
yeah. That goes in my light box. I'm with you, Bex.
Yeah, I find that utterly revolting. There's no way I can get behind that. That's just terrible. Terrible. And you're horrible people for liking that as well.
I love it. I was thinking about a career change. It turns out you don't need a doctorate to pull people's earwax out of their ear holes. Yeah, it's magnificent. You should see some of the candles that I've pulled out over the years. Woo-wee, Tiger.
Fucking sickos.
Yeah, we are. Okay, carry on. Is there any more to us?
No, that's it for her. It's quite a good one. That I like that.
Yeah, I always appreciate the comments. Thank you very much.
But sorry, Eddie, welcome back. From I don't know why I say that every time. You don't even notice it's there. As you can see, we've got a Rambo with us now. Hi, Rambo. So yeah, we were just saying we haven't got into our loves and hates yet. But knowing that your time is precious, and we've probably got until you finish shoveling that food in your mouth, which probably isn't going to be long. Anything that grinds your gears, Zach?
Where do you want me to fucking start, mate?
The one that grinds them the most. For instance, mine thus far is people eating loudly.
Okay, yeah. Mine is just people in general, mate, that I don't like.
What? That's your
like
hate.
99% of the world.
No, actually,
I hate people. I hate loud people.
You hate quiet people as well because you always think they're up to something, mate.
People that put everything in your face all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always better than you. Always done something better. Done it again.
I can confirm this actually. Having known you now for 7 years, something like that. You are a great disliker of people generally. You have to work quite hard to get in your good books, which is why we're all amazed that you got on with Sam so well.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So Zach's hate is people. Any guilty pleasures, Zach?
Guilty pleasures.
People. Margarita pizza. Women. Guilty pleasures. Okay, fair play.
That's not really a guilty pleasure, though, is it? That's just a love sort of thing. You know, I'm talking like the things you wouldn't really want to admit, least of all online in a podcast. You know, that sort of thing. Like, for instance, aside from the greatest film in the world, which is obviously Dances with Wolves with the great Kevin Costner, one of my other guilty pleasures is The Greatest Showman. I fucking love it. I love all the songs. I love the dancing. I love everything about it. It's a wonderful film, and it's my favourite thing. It's just splendid. That's my guilty pleasure.
Wow.
Oh God, go on, give us a verse. What's your favourite song from it?
I'm not singing it.
No, you need to, mate. You need to now.
No. Look, people know what The Greatest Showman is without me ruining a song.
Please, mate.
If they don't, they need to watch it because it's such a lovely film.
You can't say it's you're going to ruin a song when Hugh Jackman does pretty much all the singing in it. I mean, he gives it some
what
willy,
a
but
job he does. What an incredible voice that man has.
Before we watched Greatest Showman, Andy was sat on a night shift with me,
right,
showing me behind the scenes of Hugh Jackman singing these songs. Weren't you, Andy?
I've watched all the casting tapes, the audition tapes. It's just such a lovely thing. So emotional.
Too as well, haven't you, mate?
Oh, God.
You know what? I might have caught a little something in the eye just while I was watching it. Yeah, it's a bit of an emotional one. I've got
God. My little girl loves it, so I know all the songs because we play it in the car. They're pretty, you know. I don't dislike them. I like them a little sing along.
Yeah. See, but that's like a guilty pleasure for me. Just lovely.
Guilty pleasure for you. Go on then, Rambo. I'm genuinely intrigued. What's your guilty pleasure? You can't say women. That's ridiculous. You're a hot-blooded, red-blooded male. Of course you like women. But there's no problem if you like men as well. No judgment here. Oh, we went ominously quiet there.
To do what I like doing, being out in the open on my own. And I hate being on my own, but at the right time, being on my own, doing something I want to do, that's my guilty pleasure. With no one to bother me.
That's a terrible answer. That's a rubbish answer.
Fucking hell, what do you want me to say? Cuddles after work. I like fucking cuddles after work. That's my guilty pleasure. Are you happy now?
Yeah, okay, mate, that is a beautiful, beautiful answer.
Not that I've got anyone to fucking cuddle, though.
Oh, I bet Moose should give you a little spoon.
No, because he's handsy.
Okay, actually, here you go, a little question for you.
It was so easy to
Rambo.
break him. It was so easy.
Obviously, and I mean no offence to this, because you're an athlete, but you're not the biggest of men in the world. Are you normally given the option, the little spoon or the big spoon?
Mm.
The rage.
Fuck. I want to be angry, but it actually depends who it is. Like, when it's with Andy, like, little spoon.
You're the little spoon, aren't you?
With Andy, yeah.
Oh my god. No, I'm welling up.
See? But that's just common sense, isn't it? I mean, I'm more big spoon material. You know, like we've already talked about the fact that in the gay world, I would probably be referred to as a bear, whereas Zach's more of a twink. So
I think you'd be referred to as an otter if I was stood next to you.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so that's your guilty that's your guilty pleasure, is it, Zach?
You're fucking happy, are you?
Being a little spoon.
I'm a little bit happier than I like walks on my own.
If you just put down in the thing here, like if anyone does want cuddles after work, if they can contact me on my number that I'll put below. Thank you.
Okay, quick question. Do you genuinely want that to happen?
No.
No, I do now. I think we should pimp Zach out.
My life is fucked up enough.
Oh my god, pimp my spoon. Oh, okay, it's all right, bro. I got you. I'll put your number up.
Yeah. So some of the other little. Sorry, I've got such an itchy eye now. Some of the other little pet hates and things we've gone through is like people biting their cutlery when they're eating. Don't know if that bothers you, Zach.
No, yeah, it would.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? Oh, do you know another thing on the cutlery front? When people hold a fork like that.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? Hold it properly.
Americans, you mean?
Well, yeah, young people. I mean, you've got a precision grip. Use it. It's what sets us aside from the monkeys.
Although, don't hold your fork like a pen. That's not how you hold a fork either. Hold it normally.
Without.
No.
I know that laugh. That sounds like the horror toad.
Yeah. You back?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there. That's how we hold a fork.
Yeah.
Thank you, mysterious assistant.
I think you find if you're eating, the fork should be like that, and the food goes to the back of the fork.
Yes, it does. Correct. Very well done. See, this is why me and Rambo get on the same wavelength.
We know what fucking we do with a fork.
Yeah, it's simple things.
Surely you use it like a digger, don't you?
No.
Oof.
Well, no, but just hold it normally and then shovel the... We're taking the eating lessons from someone with pizza all down their chin. Yeah,
use it like that. So use the back of the fork.
Yes, mate. Yes.
See how you do.
I don't know if I agree with that.
That's
you've got to be careful,
mate. That is.
Luckily, his internet is so shit. I'm not going to be able to hear him eating.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, we've got noises.
Yes.
We've had a phobia of prawns.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, prawns.
Oh, hang on. Why don't we read out another one? There was some dickhead who commented on our Facebook chat page. I can't remember what her name was. Something like Sophie Twatbag or something. I'm not sure.
While we're on that subject of Sophie Twatbag, I'd like to introduce my special guest for tonight. Sophie Twatbag!
Oh,
hey, there
Sophie.
she is. The Twatbag.
She looks like she's got a mic on. It's like on GMTV in the morning in the 90s.
We have quite a professional setup there. I mean, they've just frozen now. I mean, I'm assuming the very sight of Sophie has just broken Zach's phone.
Two bodies has just crashed your bandwidth for the whole site. I mean, it's quite a flattering picture. She was. Oh, they're eating.
There we go. We're moving again now.
Yeah,
so
go on then. Read your own comment out.
Well, that means I have to get my phone.
Well, you wrote it.
Anyway, it's snails. I hate snails and slugs. They just shouldn't exist.
the oysters of the garden. Yeah.
The oysters of the garden. I mean, have you ever eaten snails?
That.
Well, it's what they're called. It's how they're generally referred to. You know, amongst the upper culinary circles.
Nah, no one eats slugs, mate. I saw Hugh Fearnley-Whitton still trying once because he's like, I've got loads of slugs, so let's see if we can eat them. And even he was like, oh, nope, not for me. And I've seen that guy eat everything. He eats the ass out of a fucking cow. It's disgusting. No.
Oh, I'm quite hungry now. I'm quite hungry.
No, Sophie, have you ever eaten snails, like French ones, escargot?
I've never been to France.
Well, you can buy them in Lidl. You don't have to go abroad to get these things nowadays.
Fucking hell.
Nice.
I'm assuming you've only ever eaten British food.
Yeah, I just love a bit of bread and meat.
In this country,
You ever had a curry? No, I've never been to India.
What's that? Yeah. Oh, no, she's not eating pizza, though, is it? That's Italian.
Yeah, mate. Not been there.
Yeah, you can't have that. Can't any of that. They're all right. They're like garlic-flavoured wine gums.
Yeah, the escargot?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I quite like them. I thought they were all right. But then you chuck garlic on anything and it's nice, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
That's what I reckon. With enough garlic, you could eat snails. Just sort of saute them in a garlic butter or something like that. No, not snails. Sorry, the other one, slugs.
Oh,
Yeah, like a white wine sauce. That'd be nice.
Oh, now you're talking. I think you got to boil the slime off. Not that I've looked into it, but yeah, you do.
Yeah, I don't think you can eat them raw anyway. They're quite like potatoes in that fact.
Well, you can. You were just yammering on about how you love eating a bit of raw fucking potato. As long as
I don't mind.
Skin on it. Outrageous.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean that's not all you wrote, is it, Sophie? You wrote quite a long little, a little lyrical escapade here. Completely destroy veg plots and gardens. They're ugly, gross, slimy, shouldn't exist. They're so pointless. The exception of being another animal's food. Blech. Very, very, very passionate about that, aren't we?
How do you react to them?
Eh?
How do you react to them, though? I mean, like, if Rambo was to be a man and go out and grab a slug and stick it, on
I'd
you.
punch him. I'd straighten his nose.
Rambo or the slug?
Him.
I don't think slugs have
Wouldn't
noses.
touch it.
Yeah,
I actually quit a job because of slugs and snails.
Was this like vegetable picking or something?
the slug keeper at Amazon World. It's like, you know what, this isn't for me.
Oh, God. Any special skills? Yeah, I'm really good with spiders. How do you feel about slugs? No. I won't do it.
Yeah, I've actually witnessed firsthand how Sophie reacts to slugs. And I think the only word that can come anywhere close to describing it is hilarious.
Oh, I want to see this shit.
I mean, she actually sounds like a girl, occasionally.
Yeah, one for a pound.
Yeah, there's lots of screaming. I've seen her scrutinising benches with a torch in the dark just to make sure there's no hidden slugs, and then the area around it just in case she's going to get crept up on by a slug.
Crept up on? How long are you staying in one place for? They move at like 0.001 mile an hour.
Doesn't matter. Like, they've got a social distance and all that.
It's ridiculous.
I just can't stand them. Can't stand the sight of them either.
You did kind of miss out your guilty pleasure though there, Soph, on that post. You got so passionate about the slugs, you forgot to mention the guilty pleasure.
Forgot. And to be honest, I haven't thought about it either. I just went straight in with the passionate answer.
Yeah, straight for the hate.
Well, there's no time like the present. What's your embarrassing sort of guilty pleasure?
My life, isn't it? Just match him.
Well, no. Rambo's is being the little spoon with Mushu. That's a fairly decent guilty pleasure. Mushu's was The Greatest Showman.
Well, that implies that happens. I don't think
Has it not happened?
Here we go. Here we go.
Sophie, sorry, what was your answer?
I'm still thinking. So whilst I think, you answer their question, yeah?
I honestly don't know. I want to say
Let me
no,
take
but
you
I've got a
back
real...
to 2014, the 4th of May, 2014, Andy. On Hyde Road.
Yeah, it has
Shanklin.
happened. Yeah.
On the road?
That took
It
a lot of
wasn't even a
interrogation.
bed. You were so cheap, Mushu. I would imagine if you were big spooning a war veteran like Rambo
We
himself,
fell asleep like it as well. We fell asleep. We
You're
fell
making it
asleep.
worse now, man.
We fell asleep spooning in the middle of the road. People would have had to have driven round us.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, I'll stick that in the guilty pleasure box as well. It wasn't a bad experience.
Well, look, as Sophie hasn't given an answer, I'll give her some time. My guilty pleasure, and I love this, and I hate that I love it because it's awful but brilliant, is Alpha Beat's Fascination. Have you heard that song? It's so brilliantly bad. I love it, but it's so bad. It's awful. But it's brilliant.
the video as well.
There's
The
a video.
video is 1,000,000% cheese.
I had no idea.
You've never seen the video? That's half of the experience. Oh my god, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good song, but it's so good. It's so good, but yeah, I love it and I hate it.
Yeah.
All in one.
One of my other
Money, jewellery.
What talk about?
Oh yeah, we've got to say coins.
Yeah.
It has to be talked about, Zach. It needs to be talked about.
I want to talk about it.
It's more of a phobia for Zach than a pet hate.
What, coins? Money?
Yeah.
The
Change.
currency of the realm?
Notes are fine. You're alright with notes, aren't you? It's just coins.
Why? Why don't you like them?
Coins. It's fucking disgusting. They're disgusting, covered in germs, and you shouldn't touch them.
Yeah, you should. That makes you stronger. Just lick them.
Yeah,
What
suck on a penny for half an hour every night.
Toilet seat.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
toilet seats are fairly clean, though. I mean, unless someone's pissed on them, I mean, they get a good rub down, don't they?
Still wouldn't want to lick one.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. Don't want to lick one, but they're not that dirty. Coins are definitely dirtier.
Yeah, but if we're mentioning coins, I'd have to say what my version of Zach's coins would be paper cuts.
That's enough.
Not
One of
seagull
those.
bites.
You what?
Not seagull bites.
Oh, it's funny you should mention that. I got bitten by a seagull the other day. Can you believe that? And the only reason it bit me was because Zach pointed it at me.
What, like this? Go.
No, he didn't let go of it. He just had it, and he went and fucking aimed it at me,
Even
and it bit me on the finger. Then I went to take it. The thing is, I went to take it exactly the same way that Zach was holding it after it bit me. Exactly the same way. It just turned its head round, like 180 degrees, and bit me again. And I'm like, why didn't you bite Zach?
It's like the dog thing. I don't want a dog licking me to taste me if it could eat my face. That pigeon, he's had a taste of you, and he's like,
Seagull.
Pigeon, seagull, same difference.
A pigeon wouldn't leave me with a gaping wound in the finger.
Gaping wound. Oh, let's see your gaping wound then, Moshe.
Well, it's healed now, hasn't it? But
it was really bad then.
I'm assuming. I'm assuming I healed super quick because of my newfound seagull powers.
Oh, okay.
I am. I am now Gull Guy.
Gull Guy. Oh, fuck's sake! Come on, Sophie.
I'm still thinking.
It's taking too long.
To be fair, thinking is an
I'm a woman. I'm
incredibly difficult
indecisive.
process.
What do you expect?
Okay, well, here's the scenario. you're not about to be shot. One of those scaly animals that you're always posting up on social media is about to be hit with a hammer. It's going to be deathly. If you don't tell the world right now, within the next 5 seconds, what your guilty pleasure is, the hammer is coming down. And it's going to be slow, but with lots of pressure. So it's going to be awful. They'll make... What noises do lizards make? Yeah.
No, I'd imagine some sort of splat noise if you hit it with a hammer.
Oh, no, we're squishing him with a hammer. The press is coming down like at the end of the Terminator. His light's going red, it's going smaller. Come on, Sophie, what is it?
I have no idea. I haven't thought about it. Well, I haven't had enough time.
One of my pet hates is indecisive people that let animals die because they can't make up their fucking mind.
Yeah.
That's what annoys me.
I bet you're the sort of person...
annoys me. People who open beers of bottle with their teeth. Beers of bottle? Bottles of beers.
Oh, don't say it, you horrible bugger.
I used to do it.
You just watched this redneck show on Amazon, which was brilliant for the first couple of series, and then it just turned ridiculous. And this horrible savage of a man got a can of beer like this. This is not beer, it's lemonade, and literally into it to open it.
I used to open them like that, and then one day I've opened this bottle of beer, and the lid was still on it. And I've looked, and there was a sliver of tooth stuck underneath it, and I'd basically just snapped a bit of my tooth away. And ever since then, I've used a bottle opener like a normal, civilized human.
When I was young, I learned how to do it with a penknife. So I always have just a little penknife on the off chance I haven't got a bottle opener. I
can do it with a lighter.
I've seen them pop, so I don't like doing that.
You've got to fucking ruin everything for me, haven't you?
Well, sorry.
Right. Yeah. Well, shall I hit you with another pet hate of mine?
Yeah.
Massages.
Me too.
Fucking hate them. Hate them. What? Why? If I'm stressed, the last thing I want is some oily stranger rubbing me. Fuck off. That's just going to stress me out more. You know,
even an happy ending, have you?
Well, I'm quite capable of giving myself a happy ending. I don't want some oily weirdo doing it. And the people I see giving massages are rarely the ones that do it on Pornhub. They're normally greasy old men or something like that who just karate chop the fuck out of you. It's like Eddie Honda from Street Fighter. It's like a fucking 100-hand slap all up and down your back. How is that relaxing? It's not. It's just fucking gross.
Yeah, I'm not into it either. And Rambo, you brought up something interesting there for me, is hand jobs. Yeah. I mean,
really?
Yeah, never had one worth of salt. Never in my life. Always rubbish. When have you ever had someone other than your own hand? Oh, I love mine, by the way. I think I could be, I could whack off 100 people, be fine. I got the technique down. Never had anybody do a decent one. I mean, I'm not, cruising the gay bars where I know full well that some of those guys are going to know exactly what they're doing.
Can I just say quickly, if we can get 100 likes on this video, we can watch Sam whacking off 100 people. That sounds fair.
I don't think there'd be 100 people who would want that. I genuinely, and I'm not forcing myself on anybody.
I'm going to like it 99 times, just to even the odds.
Just get blow the notification up. Mooshes like this. Mooshes like this. Mooshes like this.
So you don't like a handy?
Just rub it. I mean, it's nice, but they're just rubbish.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I don't mind a handy.
I am going to take that and I'm going to put it in my dislike box.
Okay, it's going in my like.
Just rubbish box. There's other better things to do,
Yeah, but no, massages never had a good massage. Never see the point. When I was living in London, I remember being in this bar, and I was just sitting there minding my own business with my friends,
having
and
a hand job.
Fucking hippie just walks up behind me and starts massaging my head. Right? No, he didn't even buy me a fucking drink. He just literally walked up and just started rubbing my head. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh, it's good, isn't it? Well, no, get your greasy fucking fingertips off my head, you weirdo.
Did you have hair at this point?
No, I was bald. I'm assuming that's why he picked me.
That's
Everyone
weird.
loves a bald head, don't they? But no, it's fucking...
Was he like this?
I don't know. The first thing I knew,
for a nickel, governor.
he could have been using any substance. For the first thing I knew was him touching me, so he could have been doing anything behind my back. I wouldn't blame him if it was spunk. I'm quite a guy.
Moisturiser, they call it. It's moisturiser. Right, what other pets have you got? Next one's about to die, Sophie.
Well, pet hates.
No, I don't care about what you dislike. I want to hear about your guilty pleasure.
Right, Sophie, there's now a plugged-in toaster slowly going down towards the fish tank. Oh no!
Fucking take them all.
No, come on, think. Well, it's getting
I
lower.
have to say, going along with Mushu there earlier, I do have a soft spot for fucking Mamma Mia, the musical.
Oh God.
I know, and I hate it, but I do have a soft spot for it. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah,
I'm not into my musicals, my girly films, my chick flicks, but I have a soft spot for Mamma Mia.
It's a bit gay, though, isn't it?
I know, that's why it makes it surprising for me.
It's no
I've been
Greatest
singing
Showman.
ABBA all day today.
My problem with this is that I quite like ABBA. I like the music of ABBA, but I do not like those movies. They are total shit.
I haven't seen the second one. I've only seen the first one.
There's more than one?
Yeah,
there's two Mamma Mias.
The second one's called Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which I think is quite a good little pun.
I didn't know that much.
So I hear. I Googled it before I came on. It was research.
Yeah, Jeebs is there just actually Googling for a change, isn't he? I don't know which one I've seen. It wasn't particularly good. They all started singing and dancing in a restaurant, which I thought, personally, was a logistical nightmare for bringing food out. But you know.
And you wouldn't get that now with COVID either.
No, God. Imagine the sound of...
Yeah, it'd be like Kenny from South Park.
Yeah, totally. Face masks. This grinds my fucking gears, okay? I have got no problem with face masks. I mean, apart from the fact that they should have made us wear them from March, I get if it makes people feel happy. It's the fucking dickheads who wear them like this.
Yeah.
Why bother? Why even fucking bother? If you're not going to cover your nose, just don't fucking wear one. I'd much rather that. Like, be like, oh, you're a spastic with like respiratory problems. That's fine. You know, you've got a sensory disorder. You don't need to wear one. But just wear it like this. You just look like a dick, and it makes your nose look massive. It's always people with massive, great conks. It's Hey, Rambo, how do you wear your masks?
I don't wear one, mate.
Fair enough. Don't wear one.
You see, this is it. To quote Yoda, it's do or do not. There is no try. You know.
Exactly. How can you fail?
One of my pet hates, which I brought up last night. People get kicked out of the club. Fucking come up with something original to fucking call the doorman, because it's fucking boring listening to the same shit.
Not being a doorman, what do you get called other than a cunt, of course? I mean, why wouldn't you?
A big nose cunt.
Oh.
And a little sausage.
And a sausage.
And he's a sausage as well. You little sausage.
Oh. I mean, that's quite you specific, though, isn't it? Do you know what? Until I mentioned it, I never noticed it.
The best one I ever had, right? Someone called me fat.
How
See,
rude.
that's something new, and it, you know, I appreciated that.
Yeah, that is something. Like if you, from a door staff perspective, work on your insults, people. Come on,
Thanks.
like it's boring being accused of being on steroids or like fucking. What's the other ones we get all the time?
My mum's fucked everyone.
Oh yeah, the things I've learnt about my mother since I've been in the door supervisor trade. Mix it up a bit. My favourite insult was the one I mentioned earlier about being told I had a diabetic face. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much.
That's my kid as well.
Yeah, which makes it even better.
Fucking
in
brilliant.
my eyes, yeah.
No, I like that.
So mix it up, people.
I can join in on this sort of tenuously. Being a postie, I see, 500 to 1,000 people every day, depending how busy it is. If I hear, if it's a bill, you can keep it. Yeah, all right. Do you know what? I had one person say that, so I took it and I put it back in my bag. The motherfucker came chasing after me. He was just lying. He was lying. He didn't want me to fucking keep it at all. I think he was trying to be funny.
Frick.
Yeah. And also, hey, Mr. Postman, is it going to rain today? I don't fucking know. I'm a postman, not a meteorologist, you fucking idiot. Look on Google. Jesus.
Ah.
I mean, it's first world problems, I know, but still. Yeah. You keep it. Wanker.
Actually, that's quite a nice little pet hate of mine, actually. Like, again, it's a trade-specific one to me, unfortunately, but when you're telling someone that they've broken licensing laws, you know, they're either buying drinks for an underage person or they're too pissed or something like that, and they turn around, they're like, I know what the licensing laws are. I own a pub, or I used to own a pub, or something like this. It's like, well, why are we fucking arguing then? Because clearly I'm not making them up just to be annoying. You know, it's the law. It doesn't change that often. It probably hasn't changed since you owned a pub. So why the fuck are you arguing the point with me? You know, it really gets on my tits.
Then do you take their bills away?
No, I'm not allowed to do that because I'm not a postman. Another great film, by the way, involving Kevin Costner.
Did you see the picture I found for the last one?
Yeah. Yes. Did I? I don't know. They all blur into one. I just see a magnificent man in a uniform.
Oh, he was in no uniform in this one. There was a whole big old tan line.
Oh yeah, I think I did see that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the screenshot from Dances with Wolves. I mean, if China are looking at my search history, they're going to think I've got some weird fetishes. Yeah. Shall we read off another one?
Yeah, go on then.
What have we got here? Jill Salmon. Wet wool squeaking together.
Yeah, I don't really get this. Explain it.
It's kind of got that noise that's a little bit like when people rub cutlery together, or when they scratch their fingers down. It's sort of like a metallic-y, tinny noise. I mean, have you got anything wool? If you bite it, it's the same sort of that noise.
Mate, I don't know how much you think I get paid, but polyester at best here, mate.
Then I cannot help you. Next time you see someone with a wool scarf on it, just go up and give it a little nibble.
You say that. How close was I to stroking that old lady the other day, Soph?
Literally, I thought he was going to run after her. When she didn't come into the club, I thought he was going to cry.
This jumper looks so amazingly squishy. I was just like, whoa, I want to stroke that old woman. I don't even care if I lose my job and potentially go to prison.
Well, I mean, if you ask, you'd probably get away with it. It's more than likely that if you were to say, oh, excuse me, old dear, I'd love to get my fingers on your jumper. But I mean like a stroke.
That is by far the creepiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But she'd probably go, ooh, young man, sure.
Yeah, so wool on wool. So if you've got like wool trousers, for instance.
Wet wool. Wool trousers? What is this, 1920?
No,
Rambo. Hang on, Rambo. When did the army stop using wool for trousers?
1958.
Fuck, it's a lot later than I thought it was. Oh, it must have been some itchy legs. Ooh.
And just imagine the chub rub you get from that. I mean, it's bad enough for just skin on skin, isn't it? The old thigh.
Don't start me on chub rub. Anyway, I'll be back, bye.
Nice to see you, Sophie. Bye now. Chub rub's the worst, man. Talc was great. Simply great.
We've already gone over the merits of talc, haven't we?
I don't know, have we?
Oh, yeah.
Talc. Talc goes in my like box. I could go without soap. I couldn't go without talc. I love the stuff, especially on a hot day.
Fair enough. Do you know, now, I've got a like for you, and it's quite a weird one.
Okay.
I have a ribbon, right? A piece of ribbon. This is something I've not told many people at all. But if I'm stressed or anxious, this piece of ribbon, I wrap it around over my finger and then pinch it tight, so it forms a tight loop around my finger, and I love it.
Then you start flagellating yourself, religious style, yeah.
You've got to make it weird, haven't you?
This is the guy. This is the 4-year-old man. He's got a little piece of ribbon he's had since he was 3 years old that he just wraps around himself. Well, is it from your blankie from when he was a baby?
No, it originally started off being a ribbon tied around my teddy Eborp's neck.
Eborp's good name.
Eborp. That was his. He was called Eborp because it was it spells probe backwards, but it was a cheat on Chubby Gristle on the Spectrum 48K. If you typed in Eborp, it'd give you everything.
Amazing.
But anyway, yeah, the ribbon from that, when I was younger, I used to wrap it around my finger, and it was like a comfort blanket. But now it still does the same thing. And if I'm ever stressed or anxious or anything like that, if I do that, it cheers me right up.
Can we see your precious ribbon?
Oh, I'm not going to go and get it now, no.
I bet it's under your pillow, isn't it?
I mean, you can...
Well, you're stuck in your thumb.
You can pretty much guarantee I've got it. You don't need visual proof. It's not the sort of thing I'd make up, is it? It just sound cool.
Oh, for God's sake. That's mental.
Yeah, that's what I mean by the sort of guilty pleasures. The sort of stuff you don't really want anyone to know, but you're going to fucking do it anyway.
Yeah, I've got a pillowcase that is nothing like that, but it's one that when I first moved out, some woman went into a charity shop and got me some sheets and bedding, and this one particular pillowcase is just, I don't know, maybe it's like 100% cotton and it's not made of, I don't know, wire wool or whatever the rest of the shit that mine are made of, but I just really like the feel of it. I mean, I don't rub my fingers through it, and I can more than happily live without it, but I do like it.
I'm just waiting for Zach to pipe up with, well, I've got this wank sock, actually. Had it for 12 years now. It's kind of its own life form.
It's got its own ecosystem, and sometimes it walks away. Oh, God. You got anything shit like that, Rambo? Probably not.
Not anything like as gay as that, no.
What, it's a pillowcase? It's just a pillowcase.
No, I don't. I've not ever had anything for a long period of time that... No.
Nice, I like that. Cut all ties with the world and emotion. Just get on it.
Yeah, no, right. I don't. Have I, Andy? I don't think I have.
No, probably, but I can't think of any at the moment. I'm trying to find. I've lost a lot of the comments, or have you got more comments, Sam?
I've got a couple. I've got Ashley Prince. Cutlery scratching on plates. I mean, there's a lot of cutlery and eating related pet hates out there, isn't there?
Yeah, I think with that, there's a difference between when you're cutting something and the knife's on the plate to when you do that awful noise when you push down a bit hard with the fork and it sort of right across the plate and everyone's just like, ugh. That's like, I can deal with the sound of knives on plates or just cutlery touching plates. It's that screech particularly that fucks me off.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't like it, but occasionally it happens. It's not one that's going to set me into a blood boil because I mean, how often does it happen repeatedly, over and over and over? Yeah. I mean, one, like, ooh, two, and I'll be like, oh God, you are clumsy, aren't you? Three, and I just eat my food down really quickly and get out of the room.
Yeah.
There wasn't there one from Tracy. Tracy.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find.
It's on a. It's not.
Hang on, I'm going to.
You got Tracy's, yeah?
Yeah, I've got Tracy's here. Yeah, I'm not going to read all of this. She's a very angry lady. It's quite clear to see that. I mean, I'm going to have to read it on Isaac for you.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
I'm not going to read all of it. It's very funny, and it's very ranty. But if you want to read it, it's on the Facebook page on the comments. Just you'll have to trawl through the comments to find it. But basically, the nub of it is BMW drivers.
It's here.
There we go. I don't know if that was long enough, but you can keep it up for however long. You don't need to see me while I'm talking. Yeah, it's BMW drivers. And basically, anyone who drives a BMW, unless it's Spartacus, is an absolute bastard, apparently, according to this.
I can kind of get on board with that. The BMW drivers do seem to have a certain presence on the road, don't they? It's like white van drivers, they don't seem to know what indicators are. And I mean, it's in such a simple place that if you just put your finger out while you're turning, that light comes on. I mean, it's a bit late, but it's better than never.
I don't know if it's fair to just put it over to BMW drivers, though. I think there's a
Because you
definite.
used to own a BMW.
Oh, we're going there, are we? Well, yeah, I did at one point. So what?
You do strike me as a bit of a wanker.
No, I was always very considerate I'm a very considerate driver. Thank you very much. No, but I think Audi drivers have got an equal part to play in this sort of hatred. To be fair, Tracy in the comment does mention Audi drivers as well, but there's a certain sense of entitlement around them in there, which is aggravating to say the least.
You see, I've always had a habit of buying old bangers, just like not very expensive cars. Like my first car was free, actually. It was like a Saab Turbo 9000. So it was like driving a tank. And every time one of those douchebags would try something stupid, I would just keep driving because, for one, I had no worry about my car braking because it was monstrous. It was just so massive. And I'm like, you clearly care more about your car with its nice wax job on there than I do about this heap of shit that cost me nothing. It's like, drive sensibly and you won't get yourself into accidents. It's, yeah,
which is that's a pretty good rule to go by, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. I went out to Iceland a few years ago, right? And the police out there are great because when it comes to road rules and speeding and stuff like that, they don't seem to give a shit. They don't seem to care if you're going over the speed limit, or if you're, they don't seem to care about anything. But where they do put the foot down is if you're being a general dickhead on the road. Like they don't care if you're going 50 in a 30, as long as you're doing it responsibly and you're not likely to have an accident. But if you're doing it on a stupid bit of windy road, they'll pull you over and bollock you for it. And the traffic fines out there, I think, are pretty hefty.
Well, that's fair enough.
I was on a frozen road and got overtaken by a coach going 70. The road, you weren't allowed on the road unless you had ice spikes on the tyres. Anyway,
I presume Iceland's bus service is absolutely amazing. Just simply amazing with no delays or late buses ever.
Yeah, probably. Who knows?
Well,
yeah. So I get the BMW drivers thing. I mean, it does annoy a lot of people, and I think road etiquette as a whole, you could do a whole fucking show on that. People that indicate right when they're going straight over on mini roundabouts. Fuck me. Oh, I would like to rip your indicator out of the front of your car and beat you slowly to death with it from the feet up. You fucking aggravating moron bastards.
You see, I occasionally do that. It depends what the roundabout is. Well, there's mini ones, not so much, but the big ones, I occasionally do it. Not often. I always indicate when I'm coming off. But yeah, that doesn't wind me up. I think when I did my motorbike test years ago that I was told I had to. No, it was when I did my driving lessons. They told me I had to. If you're going past 2:00 on the clock, you've got to indicate right. Is what they said in my driving lessons. Yeah.
This is the people that are going straight over. And this happens on the island all the time.
Oh shit! Sorry, I misunderstood what you meant. Yeah, what a bunch of tossers.
Yeah, no, you're sort of there. And you see them coming, and they're indicating right. So you're like, okay, it's their right of way because they're coming across me. And then they come onto the roundabout and just go straight on. And then indicate left to go straight on. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? You've just wasted like 5 seconds of my life, you absolute fucking reprobate. Jesus.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, but anyway,
no,
so yeah, very on board with the road stuff. Yeah. So, did you say you had another one?
Yeah. Well, did you put any likes on there? Yeah, there's a couple more on Facebook.
No.
Victoria Smith.
Yeah, go on.
I've got it on. I shared the post as well. So, yeah, Victoria Smith. Well, ketchup is the devil's sauce, and all names double-barreled with May, spelled MEA or MAI. In fact, all double-barreled names can get in the bin.
Right.
I am like the ketchup one. The ketchup one can go in my like box. Ketchup's fine.
Yeah, I like ketchup.
Double-barreled names. I spent a brief stint living out in America, So when I hear double-barreled names like Kellyanne, I think white trash. No offense, actually, I don't care. If you got those kind of names, why bother? But the MAI one, because my little girl's called Daisy, and there's a surprisingly large number of people who thought it was a clever idea to call them Daisy May with a hyphen and spell it MAI. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so offended by double-barreled names. I get why. I'm sort of on the fence with that. But when it does come to names, what really annoys me is the current trend of just making a fucking random word up out of the air and saying, "Oh yeah, that's a name." Like Caden. Like, where did that even come from? It's just like Jaden. Like those sort of names. Do you know what I mean? They're not like traditional names. It's just like someone's just made a noise. And we're like, oh, that'd be a nice name for a kid, wouldn't it? And it's always like, I want to be original. And they're always the kids that are like the kind of troublemakers in the class as well, aren't they? I mean, that's a wildly sweeping statement. It's probably going to offend some people, but fuck. Oh, well.
I mean, all 6 of our listeners are going to be well upset, I'm sure. I used to work with a girl who named her kid Nevaeh, which was
not a name.
It was the word heaven spelt backwards, so it might be a name. But I've got an example. This was so good. And this could be one of those things that I was told as a kid by my mum that was absolute bullshit, but I don't recall her swearing very much. So we lived in hillbilly Arkansas, so Little Rock. My mum worked in the children's hospital. It was quite a big place. That's why we moved over there, so she could work in that hospital. And there was this woman who named her child Shifei. Okay, spelt SHITFACE.
Shitface.
Yes. That is fucking nonsense. Absolutely, like, unbelievable. Shifei.
That is incredible.
Shitface. Do you imagine a substitute teacher comes in? Roger?
That is...
Billy? Here. Billy Bob? Here. Shitface. Yeah. It's actually Shifei, I'll have you know.
I mean, that's just cruel, isn't it? I mean, they're going to have to spend their whole life just being like, explaining it. I mean, my surname is deviant from my surname is Gatcombe, right? And everyone always assumes that, like the royal spelling, Gatcombe, like Gatcombe House and all that.
Yeah.
But no, because of some illiterate fuck somewhere in history who couldn't spell and just did his best on an official document, my name is now spelled Gatcum. Right.
Come.
Yeah.
That actual spelling of it as well.
Yeah. So I've been subjected to a lifestyle of nicknames like Cat Cum, Fat Cum, all this sort of stuff. I have to spell it every time because everyone gets it wrong. So I'm like, yeah, it's Gatcum, Gatcum. And I always say it quite quickly. And they was like, sorry, the last bit? cum. Oh, come. You're like, and all because of some fucking peasant just thought he'd give it a go rather than asking for help. Like, but there you go, yeah. So
didn't surnames originally come from like your career path? You know, like
your work.
A lot of it. Yeah, but no, it always used to be spelt after the royal name Gatcombe. Up until a certain point, and then in a church document someone's written it wrong and spelt it wrong, and from then on it's been Gatcombe.
It's like a fun uncle, isn't it? I'll go register the new baby Gatcombe, will you? Okay, I'll register him, all right.
I can only dream that I can invent a time machine at some point in the future, and whip back to that point where he's in a dusty old church, just shuffling forward and write your name here, young man. And as he grabs the quill, there's a flash of light and just my hand, just like, dickhead. That's all I want. That's all I want.
COMBE, sweetie.
Leviosa.
It's got coom, not got cum.
Yeah, so that and other, yeah, on that subject, like people that name their kids like fucking ridiculous shit just to be cool and hip and like woke. Like Apple. Apple's not a name. Apple's a fruit. Don't call your kid Apple. Blue.
What's the name of the fruit?
That's a colour. It's also what Australians say when they like you. It's not a name. You know.
Bo.
Yeah. That's not even a real word. That's just a thing that like teenage couples say to each other, isn't it?
Oh God, no, that's boo.
Oh, that's boo. Sorry. Yeah. Oh no, bo's what old people say.
Oh yeah, my bo.
Yeah.
Also, what you say to me quite a lot, and
that's where it's familiar from.
When he slings that big, heavy, tattooed arm over your shoulder and pulls you in tight.
Right. So basically,
whispers into your ear. He's like, "I've missed you, boo."
we can call this episode "Andy and Zach Come Out."
Spelled C-U-M, yeah. C-O-M-B-E. Sorry, the correct spelling.
Boom. Oh fucking hell! Right, come on.
Yeah,
let's fucking wrap this thing up, shall we? Let's. Have you got another comment? Yeah.
I got one more, and then I'm done with everybody on air.
Done with life.
And it's Louise, who, if you remember from our last episode of Ghost Stories, Louise was the window cleaner who scared her so much she crawled through the flat. Do you remember that one? She saw a face in the window.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So she's commented again, and it says, "Certain metals and porcelain I can't touch. Really makes me taste horrible stuff in my mouth."
Yeah. Oh, now that's interesting. Do we think?
Oh, well, we got an agreement.
Yeah. Do you think that's a form of synesthesia?
I don't even know what that word means.
Oh, it's where you can people can taste things. Like some people get it where they can. I think it's most common. You can taste words. So when people say certain words, you get a flavour in your mouth. Because there's a woman that does it on Twitter, and she's like, basically, tell me your name and I'll tell you what it tastes like. And it's always really weird and specific stuff, like a copper penny that's been sat in coconut milk for a week, or it smells like washing that's been dropped in wet grass, and stuff like this. But it's really fascinating. Look her up on Twitter. I can't remember what her name is, so you'll never find it. But I think it's synesthesia. But it could be something to do with that. Like if she touches it and she can taste the metal in that. I don't know.
Yeah, that is just genuinely weird. Yeah, I don't really have any comments on that. I mean, nothing I touch gives me a sense of taste unless it's being touched by my tongue.
No, I mean, obviously there's certain things that I don't like touching, but not because of any kind of sense of taste. Normally just because they feel horrible, or it's just not a pleasant substance, like shit. I try to avoid touching shit. Being a father, I don't get to do that often, but well, more so these days, which is nice. But yeah, but even that, that's a weird thing, isn't it? Like before my kids, I always thought that touching shit would be the worst thing in the universe, and then since having kids, it's just like, oh, I've got shit on me. I've even before been like, oh, what's that? Chocolate. That's all right. And I was fairly confident it was chocolate, but it wasn't the end of the world if it wasn't, because shit has lost its disgustingness for me. But nowadays I try not to touch it as much.
I've got one more thing that really grinds my personal gears, and it's difficult to word, but it always seems to be, it's like a high and mighty thing, and I only ever notice it from people who you could tell were definitely bullied at school. When you ask a question for somebody and they know the answer, but you're asking a question because you don't know the fucking answer. And I know there's an example of this that you might have seen on Facebook really recently. I asked somebody what something was because I didn't know, and they were like, "Oh, well, if you're into such and such, you should know." And I was like, "Well, obviously I don't fucking know. That's why I'm asking the question, you fucking cock." And,
Yeah.
it's that sort of that superiority thing, and it only ever seems to come from dorks, basically, people who you know were definitely bullied at school. It's like you know, the first ever meme was pictures of badgers.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd seen that pop up, and it's like, oh, it's got to the point now where people don't even remember the first memes, and then it's got this picture of badgers, and apparently it's just for some song that went badger,
mushroom. Yeah.
Oh, so you know it? Fantastic. Yeah. I didn't know that. And I'd seen it for years, and a friend of mine posted it up online who meet that criteria quite nicely. And I'm like, oh, what is it? And it was just like, oh, well, if you don't know, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. I'm always... I was like, why not? Surely it's against your whole ethos. You were basically bullying.
I think generally anyone that decides to belittle someone for trying to seek knowledge is like you say, a bully. You know, you're asking because you want to know the answer. You want to better your knowledge. So if someone asks you, you can impart that wisdom as well. But no, you've got to come back with this, hey, call yourself an expert in this and you don't even know that. Well, I do. It's who cares if you do? Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, I literally asked you a question, but that example from the other day, I was like, do you know what? I haven't got anywhere near enough time for this guy. I blocked him on everything. I was just like, no, I'm not having anything to fucking do with you. You can go suck a dick. I was like, if you're going to try and fucking sell that shit off, you've lost a customer. If I could write a Yelp review on you, it would say, he's a cock. And probably a paedophile too. But yeah, those kind of people, they really fucking get on my nerves. I'm literally asking a question because I don't know. I can't Google it because I don't know what the fuck it is, you dickhead. It's like, way to go. Good job. You enjoy your free people who are your friends these days.
Yeah, and if you're impressed by that sort of stuff as well, fuck you.
Yeah,
if you're one of those 3 people that like the comment, you really told him.
I don't know. I blocked him after putting a bunch of emojis, aubergine emojis. Fucking dick. Oh yeah, that's one last thing that really does grind my gears. I'm just like, oh, you fucking bellends.
Yep.
When the lights go off, you'll die. Rambo, have you got anything else that gets on your tits before we wrap this up?
No.
Well, that was a tense answer, wasn't it? A little lean forward and everything.
It was like the final question in Mastermind.
I don't think. I mean, after this, there's plenty of things I could say, but right now I can't think of anything that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What about you, Mushu? Any last final things that boil your piss?
Fucking hundreds, mate, but I'm not going to go into all of them because we'll be here forever. I've said the main ones. I think baked potatoes, massages, people that indicate right on mini roundabouts when they're going straight over. I think the 3 of them would certainly occupy a large portion of my own personal hell when I die.
Yeah. You just constantly having to indicate and drive straight over. Like, I can't do
that. Yeah, pretty much. Whilst being massaged by someone in the passenger seat, and the only food being baked potatoes. Literally, worst thing ever.
Oh, the only food being baked potatoes. I'd get sick of baked potatoes. That would be bad. But no, okay, fair enough. Well, if we've got nothing else to say, should we do a little reminder for the art competition thing?
Yes, we need to wrap this up as well.
I've had one entry. We've got one. It's pretty cool.
Good. So T-shirt designs. We need T-shirt designs, and the reason we need them fairly soon is so we can announce a winner and hopefully get that as one of our merch store items, which would be good. Because obviously we need to open the merch store soon. We've got it fairly set up at the moment. We just need to go live, but we can't go live just yet because there's a deal on for 20% off when we do go live, I believe. So I want it to be an advertised thing.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair enough. Yeah, I don't have any artistic skills. I do have some funny ideas though. I've been asking all my arty friends. It's like, oh, can you draw me a picture if I tell you what I want it to look like?
Draw it yourself, mate, because it would be so much funnier.
Nah, it won't. It'd be awful. It'd be awful.
I'm going to draw one.
You're going to draw one?
Yeah, I'll draw one.
You got any artistic abilities? Nah, me either. Just don't have them. It doesn't work for me. I might see if I can find an app. Might be some way of making it happen.
But if anyone is watching and they can or do want to submit a drawing or a design of some kind, doesn't have to be a drawing, it could be anything, for a t-shirt or something, please do it via the Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, YouTube, however you normally communicate with people.
Or the email, which is pacifistpodcast@outlook.com.
You're getting good at that now. I
am.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even say my own email like that.
Well, I'll say goodbye then. Cheers. Thank you.
Goodbye. See you later. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I was going to let Zach do that, but all the same.
He could do it. Go on.
Like and subscribe.